All right, friends. Looks like most of you are going to catch the replay. That's all right. It's all good. So today we are going to chat about my favorite oil, or one of my favorite products from Young Living outside of the starter kit is Progessence Plus. All right, before we get started, I've got a little disclaimer here. The information in today's class is not intended for the treatment or prevention of disease, nor as a substitute for medical treatment, nor as an alternative to medical advice. If you believe you have a serious problem, please go see your doctor, all right? It is not, to practice medicine requires a license, okay? To educate about health, however, does not. Today's class is for educational purposes only. All right, so Progessence Plus. We live in a society today where when we feel like we've got symptoms and like just our overall health and wellness is like maybe not so great, we just kind of feel like that's common. It's common for people to just not feel quite right. However, it's not normal. Our bodies were designed for awesomeness, and we so often resort to just that it's common, and it's common because of the culture we live in to not feel great. We accept a lot of these common things as being normal. So let's talk before we can chat about why Progessence Plus is super awesome. We just need to have a quick little mini lesson in what's progesterone, okay? So progesterone is a hormone. We all know that, right? Hormones run rampant through our body. They have specific jobs. They help us function. They keep us alive. They keep all of our body systems working really well. Well, progesterone is a hormone that is secreted by our ovaries, typically during the second half of our cycles. So typically, if you did have a 28-day cycle, then the progesterone is going to be starting around day 14 through day 28. And its job is to prepare your uterus for a baby, right? Well, in the event that there is no baby, then you know what, we all have our periods, and that's kind of the way it goes, right? However, if we become pregnant, then the placenta takes over that role of producing that progesterone, and our progesterone levels during pregnancy like skyrocket. They go so much higher than they do when we are not pregnant. During or after childbirth and as we get older, those progesterone levels tend to drop pretty drastically. So the goal with progesterone is to balance out our estrogen in our bodies. If you were to go have your lab levels, your blood levels drawn on progesterone, you might be normal. However, if your estrogen levels are through the roof, sky high, then you are out of balance with your progesterone and your estrogen. Now, estrogen, most women, especially women in their 30s and older, have higher levels of estrogen. And high levels of estrogen have been linked with endometriosis, PMS, PMDD, which is PMS on steroids, PCOS, dysmenorrhea, over-emotional digestive issues like IBS, fibromyalgia, and even some cancers. So our bodies, if we are high estrogen, will try to balance that out with testosterone. So then if we get into all these troubles with high estrogen, and then we've got high testosterone, and then we start getting hairy and angry and manly. So our bodies work so hard to try to keep us in balance, yet we are subject to outside influences that have an impact on our estrogen levels. And let's chat just a second about endocrine disruptors, specifically the xenoestrogens. Now, we did a whole thing a little while back in Seed to Soul here about chemicals that are found in products that we use daily in our homes and in our lives. And one of those categories is the hormone disruptors. What exactly does that mean? Well, let's talk specifically about the xenoestrogens. And those are typically BPA, the phthalates, the parabens, and then the glyphosate, which is Roundup, right? So what they use to spray on our foods. So those xenoestrogens, those endocrine disruptors, when they get into our bodies, they kind of have the similar enough makeup that they can fit into all of the little receptor sites on our cells where estrogen is supposed to go. So then they're clogging up all of the estrogen sites, and now we have more circulating estrogen than we need, and then those xenoestrogens are also stored in our fat cells. They're not broken down, so they just kind of live in our bodies. All right, so got a little bit of background on progesterone and estrogen, and how we like to try to balance them out a little bit so that we can maintain happiness. Progesterone is like the happy hormone. We want to stay happy, right? At least I do. Okay, so Progessence Plus. I had so much fun researching this. I love to research and I love to share with you what I've learned. Progessence Plus was developed in 2010 and it was released at the convention in Utah in 2010. It was developed by Gary Young and then Dr. Dan Purser, and it's super interesting. So according to the Young Living blog, I took this directly off the Young Living blog, Progessence Plus takes pure USP grade super micronized progesterone from wild yams and combines it with vitamin E and essential oils to create a serum to easily penetrate the skin for improved delivery. So, and then this is also according to Dr. Purser, some of the common negative effects of menopause that adequate levels of progesterone can help support or minimize include hot flashes, night sweats, fatigue, insomnia, increased wrinkles, weight gain, and muscle loss, and memory issues. They did a screening during that convention where they tested blood samples of the women who were present, which is mostly all women. There were like 4,000 or 5,000 people who attended that convention. And they found out of the women that they screened, 99% of them had low or zero progesterone in their blood. Isn't that crazy? So most of us walking around are deficient in progesterone. There's a lot of studies that support that and back that up. So it's pretty awesome that we have this, that Young Living took women's health into consideration to create a product specifically for us to help support our bodies to do what they were meant and intended to do. So, so it's a serum, like I said. It has the wild yam extract, vitamin E, and then it also has essential oils in it. It has cedarwood, sacred frankincense, bergamot, copiaba, peppermint, and clove. Now, so it used to have rosewood as well, but it no longer has rosewood because we know rosewood is an endangered tree, so we no longer have the rosewood in the Progessence Plus. So one of my favorite speakers that I enjoy listening to is Dr. Jim Bob Hagerton, and he said, Progessence Plus makes a woman's body more amazing-er. He said, we're already amazing, but Progessence Plus can make us more amazing-er. So let's talk real quick about the elephant in the room with Progessence Plus. When I first got my bottle of Progessence Plus a couple years ago and I read the label, I was mortified. I was so angry that I sent Young Living a letter and I was like, you guys, what's this on this label that says it can cause cancer? So they immediately calmed me down. Apparently lots of other ladies were really upset about this as well, and it's now right on the Young Living website on the product information page for Progessence Plus. There is a warning on this product because of California's Proposition 65 that says that pretty much everything causes cancer in California, right? So this proposition does not distinguish between synthetic progesterone and naturally occurring progesterone. So they have to place this label on every product. You will see all, any progesterone cream, if you got on Amazon and did a search for progesterone cream, you will see that they all have to have that same label as well if they are going to sell their product in California. So that's the elephant in the room. No need to worry about this. The progesterone that is in this product is from wild yams, a very specific kind of wild yam, so you do not need to worry. It is not a cancer-causing agent, all right? So the big thing when you first get your Progessence Plus is like, how should you use it? And since that this does have an impact on our hormones, we have to realize that if we go flooding ourselves with hormones, then we might create another sort of imbalance. So it's best to start this low and slow. The directions on the label say 2 to 4 drops. Start with one. Start with one and just see how you feel. Some women, actually one of my best friends even said she used it and she felt crazy. She felt like she was having a rage and she couldn't use it any longer. And it was probably related to the fact her body just wasn't tolerating it quite yet. She needed to build it up a little bit in her system. Maybe there was too much all at once. So it's best to start low and start slow. You can use it, the key though is to use it on a regular basis. You want to use it daily. And it's kind of like that analogy with exercise and diet to lose weight. If you only exercise once a week and eat healthy 1 meal a week, you're not going to lose weight, you're not going to see an impact on your health, right? So same thing with essential oils. If you're using them, then use them daily, because you really need to be getting them into your system so that your body can start functioning with them to improve your wellness. All right, so where should you apply it? That's another question a lot of people have. So this oil is photosensitive because it does have cedarwood and bergamot in it. So you want to make sure that where you're applying it isn't going to be in direct sunlight. However, the best places to apply it are places that typically will get direct sunlight. So when you're first starting out, or especially during times where it's super sunny outside, it would be best to use this product at nighttime. Another reason to use it at nighttime is because a lot of women feel very relaxed after applying it, and it can even make you sleepy. So especially when you're first starting out, summertime, recommend to try to just use it at nighttime. So you're going to put it, you can put it on the inside of your arms or on your wrists or along your neck, along your carotid arteries there. And that just helps to get it into your system faster, better, so it can do its thing. If you are having some cycle-related discomforts, you can apply it directly over your abdomen. That is a possibility as well. Some women will even apply it onto their temples for just kind of short-term support there. All right, who can use Progessence Plus? This is a great question because we want to know, like, well, who can use this? Well, pretty much any woman who is in her cycle or out of her cycle. So starting as early as 11, 12 years old through and past menopause. So postmenopausal women may find this very helpful to just help support their bodies, because we know as we age, the progesterone levels in our bodies just naturally drop. And this could be something that could support you, along with, of course, getting rid of all of those xenoestrogens that you are exposed to, those nasty hormone disruptors. So this is another call for action with you guys. Really, it's important to read your labels and get rid of those products that you know are harmful, because they're not good for you, and there are alternatives, and Young Living has so many alternatives for you. All right, so when you look at Progessence Plus, just this little bottle here, you gotta wonder, well, how much progesterone is in that bottle? When you look at a cream that you could purchase on Amazon, you'll see that those typically have a lot more progesterone in there. You'll see that like a serving or a dose on those creams that you can purchase online will have about 20 milligrams of progesterone per a quarter teaspoon, which is, they say to put it on your inner arms, inner thighs. Like, I actually tried some sometime a while ago, and it was so watery that I felt like it was all over my entire body before I could get it rubbed in enough to absorb. The awesome thing about this is you don't need much. So 1 drop of Progessence Plus has about 1 milligram of progesterone in it. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, and it sounds like, well, gosh, the cream has so much more. That must be better to have more, right? Unfortunately, for most people who are convinced by that, they're wrong. And I learned this super awesome fact at convention, taught also by Jim Bob Haggerton, that there's this thing called bioavailability. And bioavailability means how much is our body able to absorb and use a product, right? So sometimes we'll take supplements, just like regular old Costco or Amazon or whatever supplements, and we're, in all honesty, not absorbing hardly any. There are studies out there that show that those kind of products, you're only absorbing about 30% of what it says on the label when you read it. Bioavailability increases when you use essential oils, because those essential oils can help to pull the product, what it is you're trying to get from whatever it is you're taking, into your system faster. So that's why you'll see Young Living supplements are infused with essential oils, because those essential oils get what you need into your cells, into your body faster. So the sacred frankincense and the copaiba and the peppermint, those can all pull what you need from this Progessence Plus into your system so much more effectively and faster. So that is why you really only need a tiny little bit. On the label, it says an average dose is like 2 to 4 drops. You can go once or twice a day. Definitely start low, go slow, and go up from there. All right, so some common questions. I found this really interesting too. I found a paper, Young Living, Dr. Dan Purser, frequently asked questions about Progessence Plus. So I have gone through this and found a few that I thought, we get kind of questions about this frequently. So I'm going to share from this document here some of the common questions. So one of the biggest ones that keeps coming up is, if I take birth control pills or shots, should I take Progessence Plus? Now, you should always check with your doctor. Always, always, always. If you are concerned about should you not do something, okay? Let's just lay that out there right now. Okay, so the main reason for, or the main answer for this is that birth control pills and shots, those all contain synthetic hormones, right? We all know that, right? They're all synthetic, and our bodies respond differently from synthetic to natural. And the synthetic hormones are the ones that are linked with the big C, they're linked with blood clots, they're linked with all kinds of problems. And Young Living does not want you like taking those synthetics and adding in the natural, because then who knows what you're going to end up saying caused your big problem when you had it. So that's kind of the bottom line, is you just don't want to be mixing your synthetic hormones with Progessence Plus. All right, so it's not a good idea to take Progessence Plus if you are on birth control. All right. All right, this other one that comes up a ton as well is, should I take Progessence Plus if I'm pregnant? Again, this is a question for your doctor. Going back earlier from the function of progesterone, we know that when we are pregnant, the placenta takes over that the creation of and release of the progesterone in our bodies, and our levels of progesterone can go up like 400 times what's normal for non-pregnant. So typically, like, you just don't need Progessence Plus while you're pregnant. But if you feel like you do, that is a conversation for you to have with your doctor. All right? Let's see here, I've got a couple more. How fast will it work? That's another thing we always want to know. So I'm going to put this on my body. And by the way, this is a topical only. You do not ingest this one, and you do not try to stick it in your diffuser. Don't do it, because you're going to gum up your diffuser. This is a serum. You don't want to be sticking it in there. So this is a topical only. Once you put it on your skin, some women have reported that they have felt instant changes. Like, as soon as it's on, they feel significantly better. They feel different. They're experiencing relief faster. For other women, it can take several days to several weeks before you notice any change. So you truly need to give it time. Definitely don't just use this once and then like go, I didn't like it, I'm not going to use it. Just keep on, stay steady with it. If you were to get that kind of that rage that I talked about earlier that my friend experienced and lots of other women have as well, it's probably because you did too much too fast. You need to slow down, maybe skip a day and just see how you feel. You know your body best, you know what you are desiring to achieve, and you can adjust the amount that you use accordingly. All right, another question that we get a lot is, I've got severe PMS symptoms, or I have menstrual migraines. Like, is it safe to take this? And according to Dr. Dan Purser, yes, you can take this. All right. No libido, that's a big one. Is this going to ruin my libido, or is this going to make it worse because it's already horrible? You can talk to Lucy Libido about this. This is one of the top ones that she chats about in her book. Progessence Plus is actually known to help with libido. And a possible reason could be maybe because we have so much estrogen in our bodies, and that kind of can really squelch our libido, that this just helps to balance us out, makes us feel a little more harmonized, and therefore libido can increase as well. However, word of caution, you might want to inform your honey that you are taking a little something different, trying a little something different, just so they understand that there might be some consequences to the use of this Progessence Plus. All right, this bottle here is clear. Word on the street is that the next round of Progessence Plus is going to be in a brown bottle. So don't freak out. They didn't change any formulation or anything with this. There was an issue, I believe, with the supplier of the clear bottles, and now they're just moving to brown bottles. So it's the same stuff. Just know it's the same stuff. Yeah, Kimberly's saying only 4 drops max, and yes, that's what the bottle says, 4 drops max. I actually came across some research that said some women can handle more. So again, you're going to go back to your own body. The bottle does recommend a 4 drops max, but again, it's your body. You know your body best. If you feel like you needed more support at a certain amount of time or at a certain time during your cycle, then it's up to you how you want to use it. Another great thing about the Progessence Plus serum is that you do not need to rotate sites like you do with creams. Like creams, they'll say do a couple days on like your thighs and then go up to your wrists and then like go on your chest. And the reason is that those creams are stored in your fat cells, so you want to give those areas a break. The Progessence Plus serum, you do not need to rotate sites, and you also do not need to cycle, meaning taking off a certain amount of time during your cycle and not using it. If you want to do it that way, you certainly can, or it's safe to use it every day if you want. So again, it goes back to knowing your body, knowing what it is you are desiring to achieve. If you feel like something is way wrong and you need help, please talk to your trusted doctor. This is just an awesome alternative that empowers us to try something a little bit different. All right, let me make sure. Oh, here's a great one. The sleepiness factor. Some women will say, and this actually happens to me as well, if I use this during the daytime, I get super like just relaxed and chilled. And the reason is that it's a relaxing product. It's just relaxing to use, and if it relaxes you too much, then that's another reason to argue to use it at bedtime. All right. So let's see. I think those were like the big main issues with Progessence Plus. I just absolutely love this product. Oh, here, one more. Does Progessence Plus reduce my own body's production of progesterone? It does not. It just adds to what your body is already doing. It's supporting your body in an awesome, beautiful way. All right, so I think that's all I've got. I don't know. I see a few of you are on here. If you'd like to ask a question here real quick, go for it. If not, if you want to just ask a question, just type it down below and then I'll do my best to give you an answer. I was super fascinated digging a little bit deeper into the roles of progesterone and estrogen in our bodies, and then just seeing how those things can be out of whack. It was super impressed upon me how important it is to really avoid those hormone disruptors, because that kind of opened my eyes. I feel like I knew it all along, but when you really dig deeper and you research things a little bit more, and you realize, oh my gosh, just how tragic these hormone disruptors, especially these xenoestrogens, are, the effect that they have on our bodies, especially young girls. Oh my gosh, these xenoestrogens can cause early onset puberty. And if you are a mama of daughters, that's a big deal. And even a mom of sons, because boys are getting these estrogens into their systems in much higher concentrations than they've ever been exposed to before, creating all kinds of problems for little boys too. So out of everything that I learned, the most common thread is that we are trying to achieve a balance. All right, we're just trying to maintain a balance in our bodies that keep us like functioning at like this optimal wellness level, and according to Jim Bob, to make us more amazinger. All right, amazinger ladies. Please comment below if you've got questions, and thank you for watching with me, and I hope you learned a little something. I know I did. And if you have not yet given this a go, I highly recommend getting this on your next order. Or if you're not a member yet, go ahead and get yourself a starter kit, enroll in Essential Rewards, and add this to your Essential Rewards order, and just get it, start using it, and start loving it. All right? Everyone have a wonderful afternoon. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.